Hi, I'm Rich Frawley, and I'm the Digital Forensics Specialist with ADF Solutions. Today we are going to add keywords to a search profile. So at this point, you have started to create your own search profile, and you want to add your own unique keywords. So let's say I was in here, and I'm just going to copy my intermediate. And now I want to add specific keywords to this. I want to customize it for myself. So on the right-hand function toolbar, we're going to select New Capture. And here you can see Search for Keywords. We search files for keywords and regular expressions. We're going to select that. Whenever you're creating a keyword capture, you need to put it into a capture group. I already have keywords that I've created, so it auto-populates when I start typing it. And then you want to have a capture name that is specific to your list. So if I was doing a cyber tip, I would put cyber tip and maybe the number of the cyber tip. Or if I was working a fraud case, maybe it's the Smith fraud case. And now I know exactly what this keyword list refers to. That way, when I go to create other search profiles in the future, when I go to look at my keyword list that I have already imported, I'll be able to turn on and turn off the ones based on their names. A couple different ways to get in your keyword list. You can type them in one at a time. So under search expression, I can add my keyword. I can add a tag from 0 to 9. So if I thought this was unique enough and I wanted it bookmarked, if a file was found with that keyword in it, I can set that scan, and I can also set a comment. Once I'm done with that first keyword, another line is automatically entered, so I can enter another keyword. If I wanted to delete a keyword, I can highlight that keyword and select the delete. Another way to import our keywords, if you go over to the right-hand function toolbar, we can import CSV or text files. With your CSV file, it must be formatted so that the first line says keyword, and then every line under that would have your individual keywords. And these are optional. You can also put in auto comment and auto tag. So if you wanted these to have comments or auto tag as you go along, you can see here I have the IP address. I have the comment that says IP address to the suspect, and then I have the auto tag. So you need it to be in this format in order to import it. And if it is a text file, you need to have the first line that says keyword, and then each line underneath that will be each individual keyword. As long as it's formatted like that, there will be no issue importing that keyword list. So I'm going to bring in my unique keywords here. You can see here I now have a dialog box that says it's imported the keywords, how many it's imported, and there are warnings or errors. So if there was duplicates or my file was formatted wrong, I would have that warning here. Once it's in, I hit OK, and now my keywords are populated. If I brought in the wrong list, it's easy. Go to the right-hand function toolbar, hit Clear Table, Import List, and then you can import your correct list. You can see here I've changed the keyword type. I still have auto comments. These are regular expression. So let me go through search scope now. So I have my keywords in, and I'm going to clear this list, and I'm going to bring back in my unique keyword list. So search scope. The first thing our tool does when you start a scan is it makes a listing of every file and folder that's on that driver partition or whatever you're scanning. So if I select this, it's going to run these keywords against the file names and folder names at that time. It's fast and seamless and will give you keyword hits up front. The second choice I have here is artifact records from other captures. So the first thing our tool does is make that file listing. The second thing our tool does is starts parsing out the artifact records, such as your browsing history, your logs, your user logins, your connection logs, USB history, so on and so forth. So as it's parsing out these records, it will run these keywords against those records at the same time. Again, fast, seamless. You'll have results up front. Third option is file content and metadata. We will get back to that in a second. I just want to jump over to options. As you can see, we have the search types. So if I wanted these to run substring, the keyword is searched for exactly as it's shown in the keyword list and could be part of a longer string of data. So searching for the character string pot, P-O-T, would find any text string containing those three letters in that order. For example, pot, pots, potting, potter, right? Spot, spots, spotting, spotter, spotted. Potent, potentate, teapot, tin pot. It goes on. You understand now what it means when it's searching at substring. And then regular expression allows for that complex search terms using the regular expression search pattern language. And I'm just going to clear this here for a second, import that other list I had. And you can see these are regular expression keywords, and that first one looks for Visa credit card numbers. The second one looks for MasterCard. The third looks for Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Diner Clubs, and Discover. It looks for all five. And then the last one is U.S. Social Security number. So those are what regular expression is. If you're using these type, you must have this selected. Otherwise, if you have substring, it's going to look for those characters exactly like they are and get you absolutely nothing. So little tip here, if you test out your keyword searches and you're getting 0 hits, especially with a word that should be on that computer, come here, check your options, and make sure it's selected the right way. I'm going to clear that table, bring back in my unique keywords. And then, so file and folder names, these will run against. Artifact records from other captures, these will run against. And now file content and metadata. So file content and metadata, I need to pick the files that I want to run the keywords against. So if I'm doing a comprehensive scan and I want to see where it is everywhere on the system, I could choose to run it against all files. Most likely it's going to be specific files. So when I pick specific files, I have a couple choices. I can go into individual type files. So if I was only worried, I knew a specific case and I was only looking for Microsoft Word documents or PDFs, then I can come in here and get that specific. Or I can say I want to run it against all documents. Now that I've checked the category box, I've selected everything in there. And then text files and internet files. So my keyword search would look in the content of documents, internet files, and text files. Center, we have our options. So file identification. How am I going to identify documents, internet files, and text files? Well, our first choice here is fast identification. What fast identification is, it's by file extension only. So it's very fast. It's just looking at the file extension, .doc, .docx, PDF, TXT, so on and so forth. The next choice down is thorough identification for files without extensions. So a lot of times, especially in cache, files are saved without file extensions. So this option will do a fast identification on everything to see if it's a document, internet file, text file. If it does not have a file extension, it will do a file header analysis and confirm what type of file it is before it searches it. So it's still fast and will get you through more and get you more data because it's going to go through those cache files or those applications that save files specifically without file extensions to try to get the user not to mess with them. And then the last is thorough identification for all files. It's slower. This should be saved for your comprehensive type scans. It looks at every file header, does an analysis on it. So that'll give you mismatches, so on and so forth. So if I were doing this as like a true triage type case, I'd probably do thorough identification for files without extensions. My next option here is embedded. So search selected file types in. So if I'm looking for documents, internet files, and text files, and I select this, this will look inside of archive files. And if I go into view, you can see the type of archive files: 7-zip, zip files, tars, rars, so on and so forth. And then if I thought any of these types of files would be embedded in documents, then I would select this one as well. Underneath that, we have file properties, so I can put a size boundary on the files that I'm looking at, and I can also put date based on created or modified timestamps. I could put a boundary on that as well. Then over to our file source. Where do I want to look on the operating system, on the file system? So I can target folders. If I go into view here, we have these in here. You don't have to create them. But I can say I want to look in users and documents and settings, and now I've targeted the user profiles to search for documents, internet files, and text files. It will not look outside. If I'm doing an intelligence type scan where I have time but I don't know how much time, I want to let this run as long as I can, I can target these folders and then choose entire file system. And what that does is it searches the targeted files first, gets you, that's where your evidence is most likely going to be, and then it'll go outside and do the rest of the file system, and it won't repeat what you've targeted. So when you have time but you don't know how much time, that's a great way to set it up. Deleted files, anything that still has a reference in the file system, and then files referenced by artifact records. So what that does, I find a keyword in a document. If this is checked, it will then look in the peer-to-peer artifacts, email, messaging, downloads, recent files, and browser cache. And if that file name that the keyword was found in matches anything in those artifact records, it links it together for you. So if this document was sent through a message or sent through an email, or it came in through an email and then it was messaged out to 7 different people, you would be able to see that through this linked artifacts or referenced by artifact records selection. Once you have all your choices, we hit OK. And then we hit save. Now we're back to the search profile, and my keywords capture group is my Smith fraud case keyword capture. I can export it and share it with another user. I can delete it, I can copy it, I can edit it. So that's how you create your keyword capture. And that's all for this video, so thank you for your time.